is just me, Chuck D. I want to say how much it sucked to see Tyrese get hurt in the first 7 minutes of the game. I know I've heard a lot of things online already about is this the biggest what if? We put an asterisk next to the Thunder's thing. The first thing I think Bill said that first thing you're gonna think about when you think about the Thunder championship is that you're gonna think about Tyrese getting injured. That's not true. We're gonna think about the Thunder winning this. They were the best team in the league, and they won, and it makes sense for that to happen. And the number one thing any player would tell you is that health is the biggest reason that you win a championship. You got to be healthy. It's a lot of games you play throughout the season. So if you're healthy and you're the best team, you win the championship. You won the championship. Congratulations to the Thunder for that. And I don't think we need to talk about like, is there an asterisk or what if Tyrese was healthy? We will never know. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is. There's a lot of things that went on during these playoffs that people weren't healthy. What if Steph Curry doesn't pull his hammy? What if Damian Lillard doesn't tear his Achilles? What if Tatum doesn't tear his Achilles? What if Darius Garland doesn't get injured his toe? What? I mean, those are a bunch of things. There's a bunch of what ifs. But it's not about that. It's about health. And it's about people being healthy at the end of the season and fighting through and executing and winning championships. So we have to just straight up just say congratulations to the Thunder and leave it at that. They won 7 different champions in the last 7 years. I think that could continue, but I don't know. OKC is a really, really young team. As we heard about the championship celebration after, they didn't really drink too much. Not a lot of champagne open, not a lot of Michelob popped because they're young. They're the youngest championship team. They haven't really drank. This generation doesn't drink that much anyway, which is a good thing. We keep making it sound like it's a bad thing that they don't drink that much. No, that's a good thing. Drinking isn't the greatest thing in the world for you. You know what I mean? It's okay to enjoy as an adult, but it's not the greatest thing for you. So, but beyond the point, Thunder, congratulations. SGA, one of the greatest seasons by NBA player ever. MVP, Finals MVP, Western Conference Finals MVP, scoring title. My goodness, great season. As you can see, I got a Clipper shirt on, so you know I got a lot of love for SGA. I was one of the main people that was not happy about him being part of that Paul George trade. I was happy to get Paul George, but I wish we didn't have to give up SGA. But that's just like spilled milk now. There's no reason for us to keep crying about that. Is that the worst trade in NBA history for us? Hey, time told us, and it looked like it was. You know what I mean? We didn't get a championship out of that time, and they got one. But it's the same thing going into this KD trade, which we'll get to. But one of the main things is congratulations, SGA, man. You had a tremendous, rookie year when you were here. And it was just a whole much of an upside for your career. And to see you get this championship and see everything you thrive and kill it and do what you have to do is an incredible feat. It's one of the things that I wanted to say that SGA, congratulations, dog. I mean, I hope y'all keep winning. I like OKC. They're a good team. I hope that the Clippers can build a team to get to that point and we can finally get a championship. It's been a long time coming. I'm going to keep waiting. I'm not going to jump and bandwagon. I'm not going to leave. I believe in Steve Ballmer. I believe the money that he's putting into the team, and I believe we'll get one eventually. I just feel it. I feel it that we'll finally get one in my lifetime. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things you just got to stay hopeful. Moving forward to that KD trade, everybody's talking about it. I think the biggest thing that we can't give grades on it. We got time will tell. It's one of those things. KD's 37. You know what I'm saying? The Phoenix Suns still have a few moves they have to make, and they will become a team that I feel like is going to be dangerous. I think the Phoenix Suns make the playoffs, not the play-in. I think they make the playoffs. I think Jalen Green is going to be very, very angry this offseason in training and need to think about how a team just said, you know what, we're done with you, and we're going to trade you for an older star, and we believe he'll take you over to get us over the hump. He was Houston's leading scorer. He got him to the second round. He got him to number 2 seed. Yes, you went against one of the toughest teams in the league in the second half of the year in the Golden State Warriors. They were, Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, Draymond, Pop. You just didn't have a great series. And I think you're allowed to have a mulligan. You're allowed to have a bad series one time in your career. It happens to every player. Every player ain't been the greatest in every series. Sometimes teams scheme something you haven't seen before, and there's no way for you to get used to it that quickly. It just sucks. And you had one of those seasons. And I feel like you can bounce back this year with the Suns if they keep you. I believe they should keep you. I think there's a lot of moves they can make without giving away Jalen Green. I think a lot of people making jokes that, oh my goodness, Devin Booker's not going to get but Devin Booker is the guy on the team. Let's not get it wrong. Devin Booker, if he wants to shoot it 20 times, he will get 20 shots. Let's start there. That's number one. Number two, 15 to 20 shots for Jalen Green. All right. Bradley Beal coming off the bench. Get your 12 to 15 shots. Plays are going to be run for you. Exactly what you needed. You'll be the guy of that second unit where you don't have to worry about, all right, where are my shots coming from? All right. And then you can be in the death lineup. Now, that's what I think about. If they're able to keep all of them, I think the biggest thing that they need is another center and a power forward. So they can make moves to do what they have to do that. And yes, they also have Dillon Brooks, who is also a good defender. As much as not a lot of people like him as a person or like him as a player or whatever it is, you can't deny that he's good at playing defense. He had a solid season last year. So I think the Suns are on the upside. I think a lot of things that we're looking at this is a negative light, which a lot of people always do on social media and doing media and all that stuff, some negative way of thinking. If you come here to listen to me, I'm going to tell you the positive thought process of all of these things because that's who I am as a person. I'm just going to always think positive. Cup is always half full, everything like that. So I always, and as a Clipper fan, I have to do that. I have to. You got to think positive. If I was always thinking bad, man, I would be sad all the time. I'll be a sad boy on the internet. But if you're a team that's in the East and you got picks and you got one or two guys that are solid, this season coming up could be very, very, very ball can drop in your hands and you can end up in the Eastern Conference Finals. You got to think about it. The Cavaliers, Garland got toe injury. They already have the odds on Vegas have already got the Cavs to come out the East because of what happened in the East this postseason. Like I said earlier, Tatum's down with Achilles. Knicks don't have a head coach. They still have a good team, but they don't have a head coach, so we don't even know what's going on there. They try to spend the whole last month stealing other coaches, which is the weirdest thing in the world. You can't just fire your coach and not have a plan, and that just makes sense for their organization to do something like that. Like, hey, we're just going to walk into the organization. Hey, do you like your coach? Can we interview him so we can sell him on why he should come to the Knicks? Which is another thing that these huge franchises do. They kind of just ego. It's a straight ego movement. Nobody wanted to go to the Lakers. Nobody wanted to go to the Knicks. This is what it is. That's just how it is. No one wants to go to Chicago. Like, listen, the writing's on the wall. A lot of the top markets, players don't want to go to. It is. Let's just be real about it. And we see two small market teams because players want to go play for the small markets because they get so much better love from the fans. They get better love from the people, and then you need to change your owner. Your owner's mindset has to change. I know I got off topic, but I'm just saying. That's just one of the things that we got to realize. These big market teams, they owe money and they don't really want to do nothing for real. They want to stay under the cap. They don't want to get no more taxes. They want to spend. You got to spend to win chips. Or you got to make sure you win chips when you got a young squad like OKC just did. It's one of those two. You got to be in between. You can't be in between. You got to spend or you got to win early. Just like in NFL. You got to win with that new quarterback and hopefully that new quarterback is good. And if he's good to a certain point, you got to make decisions, but you got to win in those first few years, and that buys you more years. You know what I mean? But if you don't, you got to make changes. And some of these other big market teams don't want to do that. Lakers are cheap. Chicago's cheap. Knicks went all in. I would say that. Y'all did go all in. Y'all went all in for the chip, didn't get it, still got a chance to get the right coach and bring that in, figure that out. The Pacers, like I said, Haliburton down. Pacers still got a really good team to make the playoffs next year. Some guys can step up and things like that, and they can run it back. They got the 2026 pick from New Orleans, which will definitely be a top 10 pick, which is really good for y'all going into that 2026 season when Tyrese gets back and you get to add another piece. And then the Bucks. Lillard's hurt. He's out. Everybody's thinking Giannis is going to leave. Personally, I don't think Giannis is going anywhere. I really don't. I think Giannis is one of those guys that wants to stay with his franchise. He's got his chip. Yes, he could keep winning chips, but Giannis got his chip. For all the ring culture folk out there, he got his chip. Does he believe he can win more? But we all know if he wants to win more, he has to leave. So we can't get mad if he leaves and doesn't get more, or leaves and doesn't leave and stays and has one, and then somehow fights back and gets in. I think players want to go play with Giannis. He's a great guy. You talking about nobody was playing in Milwaukee. Who knows? It doesn't matter. Look at here. At the end of the day, all these dudes are rich. They could go anywhere they want. They don't want to go play with Milwaukee. If they want to make that type of decision for their career because that's a personal decision. But if you get a chance to go team up with one of the best players, a generational talent, a superstar, and you don't take it because of the city of Milwaukee, that's on you and not on him. Okay? That is, if I'm an NBA player and I have a chance to go play with Giannis, I'm going to go play with Giannis. That's who I'm there for. I'm there to play with Giannis, who's going to make the game easier for me as a player. I don't care about the city. I really don't. Why? Why? I'm going to buy a big old crib. I'm going to have a nice house. I'm going to have my family with me. We're going to enjoy life. We're going to be able to get access to things that make us. You're like they used to tell me when I went to college, Xavier University, Cincinnati. When I got there from LA, you're like, man, people that were out of state say college is what you make it. What you pour into it is how the environment, how it will be to you. And that's what I think about when people talk about playing in Milwaukee or playing in Cleveland, playing in these small. It's what you make it. If you go in there being a sad boy and thinking, oh man, I'm in a terrible city, then it's gonna be a terrible city. One of the things, and I'm gonna wrap all this up. One of the things that we have to realize is that the East is wide open. And I believe Detroit and Orlando, now that we're looking at Orlando's move, are thinking to ourselves like, you know what? That might have been a really good move. People were like, oh, was it a good move? Was it not a good move? They gave up too much for Desmond Bain. But that starting five is nice. That starting five is a really good start. They got shooting, they got defense, they got bigs, they got everything. And what that looked like, that looks like OKC again. You know what I mean? But he doing so much right now. So I'm gonna have to wrap this up because I gotta get him outside, or I feel like he about to pee or something. So all my dog people out there, he only 5 months old, so we're going to have to take him outside. I think he's tearing up a pillow right now. But like I said, the East is wide open. I believe we're going to see Detroit and the Magic in the top three competing against the Cavs for that number one spot. The Cavs exposed themselves last year. I am one of them people who are not a Cavs person. I don't think the Cavs got it. Donovan Mitchell ain't proved nothing to me. As a person that was in the West, I watched him with Utah get number one seed and get kicked out. Clippers beat them, not kicked them out. You know what I'm saying? Paul George is one of his best series of his career when he helped knock out Utah. But what I'm trying to say is that we have to understand that the East is wide open. And once again, a new team could be coming from the East. The West, I still think OKC got it. But I appreciate y'all watching. Keep tuning in. I'm going to keep trying to turn a lot of these things out because I'm trying to get better at my host game. Be honest with you. Just trying to get better. He is doing so much. Caviar. Man. All right. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate y'all. Love, subscribe. All them things people usually say at the end of their videos. Peace.